It's Jason from drpremed.com today, and have some bad news. Well, not really bad news, but something unfortunate, a little disappointing, and it kind of hurts a little bit because it doesn't necessarily involve me, but it's what I see happening across the board with a lot of students who are totally committed to getting into medical school, becoming that doctor that they always wanted to be, but we all know not everybody realizes their dreams or potential. That's just the reality of life. And unfortunately, what happens is I have a lot of students who reach out to me for help or assistance with various parts of being pre-med, getting into medical school, getting to the next level, getting their white coat and stethoscope, all of that. And then sometimes it comes down to where I could work with a student. Maybe they do an advising call or they want specific help on a certain area. I can give them that help. And then I can also say, there's more that you personally need to do to get to the next level. And a lot of times students will say, you know what, Jason, that sounds great. That seems like that definitely would work, but I'm not sure about that. Or I have family and friends in the medical field who are in medical school who are doctors. I'll just ask them for advice. Or here's what I see a lot of times. I'll just figure it out on my own. I'm pretty confident where I'm at right now that it will all work out, so I'm not going to choose to move forward or work with you further on what you suggested I need to do. Everyone has their own prerogative. They can do as they please. I'm not going to push. I'm not going to chase after you if that's what your decision is. However, here's what happens then. I usually like to follow up with students to see where they're at in the future, like after an application cycle or a couple months down the road. And here's what I usually get. Jason, it didn't work out. I don't know what's going on. I applied to over 40 medical schools. I'm not getting interview invites. It's already, the application season is over. I'm looking to plan B. Can you tell me what some of my options would be to actually get into medical school, what I can be doing to improve my credentials to get into medical school, anything, because I really want to be a doctor. I know I can do this, yada, yada, yada. I get that. And then I didn't get into medical school, but that's not a problem because maybe medicine wasn't for me. I'm going to go do something else, figure out what I want. Or I'll get the students who like to kind of put a positive spin on things, but they're not really serious about it. The ones who are like, yeah, I had problems going through like the application process and getting interviews, so I decided that I'm going to go to one of the international Caribbean schools because they have this great reputation and they have a direct pathway program back to the United States. I can still be a doctor and practice medicine. Who are you kidding? Give us a break. We know what's going on. You didn't do what you needed to do, and this is plan B. It's not where you want to be. No one decides that, oh, I need to get a passport. I need to fly across the world, another part of the world, to study medicine and then hope that I can get back into my home country, which would be America, to practice medicine because I'm going to be applying to residency programs as a foreign or international medical graduate, and there's going to be a little bit of stigma attached to that from all those residency programs, however you want to slice it or cut it, or you may think otherwise. No, there's so many people who do that. No, there isn't. And I see it all the time in the hospital, even where some program director will tell you, like, yeah, you guys, like, there's a lot of international students with the one hospital now, and they'll tell you, like, yeah, we take them for, like, their third and fourth year medical school, but rarely are we going to accept them into our actual residency program, and some will flat out say we don't take international medical students. That's just what it is, and there's only a limited number of states where you can actually do your third and fourth year medical school. There's only like 5 of them or so you want to be locked into only 5 choices for your medical career. And so I see this happening all the time with students. Don't think that you know what you're doing. I'm not saying that you don't know what you're doing, but if you haven't been through the process successfully, and if you're looking at this, you haven't, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You'd be out doing what you need to do to be a doctor, or you're already that doctor right now. Don't take it on yourself to try to figure it out on your own, because you don't have the time, you don't have the skill set to do that, and you're going to just ultimately be hurt in the end. And I can give you countless examples of students who, Jason, you know what, that offer looks really good that you have, but I'm going to pass on it, or I'm not ready to move forward with it, and then boom. You're either not in medical school, or you're packing your bag, getting your passport, and moving across the country with a Hail Mary chance of actually practicing medicine in the United States. You don't want to do that. I'm Jason with drpremed.com. I've been running this site for years, but more importantly, I've been helping students successfully get into medical school the first time they apply. 60% of applicants get rejected. With me, no, we're above 95%. If you work with me, I will get you across the finish line. I will get you to the promised land of medical school. And I'm not talking about an international Caribbean medical school. I'm talking right here in the United States of America. If that's what you want, if that's what you really believe in, is your destiny to be a doctor, then you need to reach out to me so that we can work together, plan a strategy that's going to ultimately benefit you, help you zoom above the competition so that you're not just a diamond in the rough, mediocre pre-med like everybody else applying. You actually have some credentials. You actually stand out, where it becomes a no-brainer for a medical school admissions officer to say, you know what, we see something in this applicant. Let's bring him in for an interview. Let's grant him an offer admission to our American medical school, because that's what we see happening for you, and I can do this for you. I don't want you walking away with your tail between your legs, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but didn't, and now you're not where you need to be, and now you're going to just have an uphill battle trying to get a residency in the United States and even job prospects, because people look at foreign and they're like, oh, they probably don't even speak enough English, they can't communicate well, or just a stigma like, oh, why couldn't they get into American medical school? Because people, you may think you're like shortcutting the system or getting around it, but as my father used to say, I may have born at night, but not last night. So people realize why you choose to go to a Caribbean medical school. People don't do it like, oh, I wanted to go for the weather or for the experience. No, it's because you weren't able to hack it in an American medical school application process. So you need to keep that in mind, and you don't want to be that applicant who has to answer that question throughout the rest of your career. Oh, why did you go to this school for medical school instead of one in America? So that's the big thing I want to get across to you. And if you're looking for help, if you're on the cusp, you're not sure what you need to be doing, definitely need to reach out to me to get that advice, get that been there, done that experience from me that I can give to you and help you craft a winning medical school application that's going to get you into a medical school in the United States of America, and then you'll be set for life. Don't have to worry about anything. People won't be questioning your credentials, your background, any of that stuff. I want that to happen to you, because I don't want you to be that other applicant who's either flat out rejected or packing bags, heading overseas, thinking that's going to get you where you want to be, because ultimately it doesn't. I know that, and you could say, oh, well, that's not me, Jason. I know what I'm going to do. It's going to all work out. No, it doesn't all work out. You know that. You've probably seen so many of your pre-med classmates who aren't even pre-med anymore at this point, because things don't always work out. You need to realize this is your future. This is your career. This is your livelihood. This is your life that's on the line, and you have to make the right choices, and you have to be able to actually even say, I need to invest in myself to get to the next level. Think of how much you invested in your undergrad education, preparing for the MCAT, investing in applying to medical schools. So you need to invest in somebody who can actually help you get to the next level. And if you want that, I'm here to work with you. If you're qualified, if you know what you need to do and you're willing, you're coachable, willing to take advice, I will get you where you need to be. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. I look forward to working with you, or at least hearing from you, pointing you in the right direction. But I don't want to have to follow up with you and find out you're overseas, or you're in a Caribbean medical school, or you just didn't get in because you had an opportunity to, but you passed on it, and now you are sailing without a boat. We don't want that to happen. Let's make sure you get into medical school the first time you apply, and you're also getting into a medical school that's fully licensed and accredited and located in the United States of America. All right, this is Jason from drpremed.com. Reach out. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care.